Tensions between the U.S. and China escalating beyond the trade war, from tech,
China is a competitor,
to Taiwan. And remember that spy balloon?
The state of our union is apparently under Chinese surveillance.
Washington now working to defend the U.S. military from surveillance. Congress and the president trying to prevent China from buying land near bases over national security concerns. And now one lawmaker saying the country is already inside them through a nutritional company selling protein powder and vitamins to our troops.
GNC absolutely needs to get kicked off of our military bases. GNC and their cohorts are vertically integrated companies owned by the Chinese Communist Party.
It is true that Harbin Pharmaceutical Group, a Chinese company, became full owners of GNC in 2020.
GNC has been operating on U.S. military bases for a long time. It's gone through a successive set of ownership for quite a while now. It went through the hands of a number of American private equity firms, eventually declaring bankruptcy, shuttering a number of stores, and being bought out of bankruptcy by Harbin Pharmaceuticals.
Rep. Pat Harrigan from North Carolina, former Army Special Forces, says he learned of the Chinese ownership in April and quickly introduced a bill to ban companies controlled by China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea from doing business on U.S. bases. GNC, which has more than 2,000 stores across the country, operates 85 on military installations. And Rep. Harrigan says his core focus is not on the pills and powder, but the data.
You're dealing with, personal health information. You're signing up at GNC for, supplement plans. And that sort of a thing gives you an insight into a very particular individual's needs. And if you wanted to build an intelligence profile on somebody, you certainly have the information to be able to do that.
A GNC spokesperson says the company does not collect sensitive health data or any medical records, adding the Chinese transaction was approved by the U.S. government during Trump's first term and that its data practices are regulated by the Department of Defense. The Natural Products Association, a nonprofit lobbying group for the industry, also sending a letter to Congress opposing the act, highlighting the hundreds of people GNC employs at those locations, including vets and military spouses. But Harrigan says purchasing history for products like testosterone and sleep aids are a security risk, not to mention a potential window into deployments. He met with GNC representatives after raising the alarm.
And I don't believe that they were honest with me at all. And they came in and said 96% of our products are made in the USA.
A new independent review from supply chain consultant X-Kiger found that GNC imported over 100 million pounds of ingredients from China. GNC says it sources raw ingredients not available in the U.S. from overseas and then manufactures nearly all of its products here, where it does testing for safety as well. The company also telling NBC it doesn't operate under Chinese law and that it was fully transparent with the congressman in their meeting. Still, Harrigan upping the pressure, sending a letter this month to the Homeland Security Secretary and FDA Commissioner asking for a full criminal investigation into GNC.
I think Americans need to be knowledgeable about the country of origin of the products that they're purchasing.
We reached out to DHS, the FDA, and the Department of Defense for comment, but so far only heard back from the FDA, where a spokesperson says in part, it is common practice for dietary supplement firms to import their ingredients from China and other countries, adding the agency does have some oversight over firms that manufacture and package the goods. But the multi-billion-dollar industry, including GNC, operates with limited regulation, as a law from the 90s exempts them from FDA oversight until the products are marketed, similar to food products. GNC no stranger to controversy, paying a $2 million fine to the Department of Justice in 2016 as part of a federal crackdown on supplements that allegedly contained harmful ingredients and hidden drugs. The company, promising to better police its products, didn't admit to wrongdoing. Now it's entangled in a new controversy, giving a boost to the friction between China and the U.S.
So, Julie, this bill seems very targeted to military bases. Is there any sort of a more comprehensive plan to try to take on China and the concerns about surveillance, let alone the manufacturing of products here?
Tom, that is the exact question that I posed to the congressman, because as we were talking, it became very clear that what Congress does is piecemeal when it comes to combating these kinds of efforts that they say, for example, our adversaries are spying on us in the case of the spy balloon that we talked about, or tech in the case of TikTok, that Congress went out and passed a bill to try and dissolve the ownership there from the Chinese Communist Party. So you see them taking these piecemeal steps, but nothing really comprehensive. Harrigan didn't really have an answer for that. Now, he is a freshman member. I don't expect him to. But still, when I asked him how was leadership receptive to this, he didn't really have a clear answer. It does seem like we're constantly playing catch up with all of these different issues. And it seems like when a new one pops up, that's when they react. And that doesn't really seem to be a good idea now, does it, Tom?
Nope. Julie Zirkin, thank you very much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.